Hey, this is Ian for Group Talk Summary for July 18th. Today we were talking about our best summer vacations ever, and we talked about dream vacations, and we talked some about childhood and siblings, brothers and sisters. And as always, I had a few good laughs and really enjoyed the group talk. Let's start with some words we covered. The first one is very easy, scar. It can be a noun or a verb. And it's like, for example, if you get a cut, many years later, you'll have a scar. So let's start with a very easy example. So I have a surgery scar on my leg. So many years ago I had surgery on my leg, and now I have a line you can see from where they cut my leg. So I have a surgery scar. So usually scarring it can be like on your skin, a cut or something like that. But we can also talk about scarring somebody's emotions or scarring somebody's mind. So like if something really terrible happens to you, for example, if a girlfriend cheats on you or something, then for the rest of your life, it's not easy to trust girls, or vice versa. Maybe your boyfriend cheats on you, so after that, it's hard to trust boys. So you can say, I've been scarred. So it's not on your body, it's in your emotion or in your mind. So for example, traumatic events can scar young children, which is very true. If a child sees somebody die or they lose their parents or something like that, for the rest of their life they can have a lot of problems, a lot of emotional problems. So we can talk about that as being a scar. And you'll notice in this example, traumatic events can scar young children. This time it's a verb. The next one, crack, which is very similar to scar. It can be a noun or a verb. So let's start with a very simple noun. There's a crack on my iPhone screen. I dropped it, and now there's a crack in the screen. So I need to buy a new phone. And then as a verb, I lent my car to my friend, and he was out driving and he cracked the window. So I'm going to make him pay for the new window. So he cracked the window. This time it's a verb. And like we talked about in group talk, crack is like a hibi, but it can also be related to a sound, a certain kind of sound. So for example, when people, they pop, let's see if I can do it. All right, there's one. So this is called cracking your knuckles. So it's kind of like that sound. Or like another good example is a whip. That sound is a cracking sound. And then another word we learned, I told you not to really pay too much attention to this word, but it is a good word to know at least one time, which is dilapidate or dilapidated. And like I said, that's when you have something like a car or a boat or a house and you just don't take care of it, so its condition becomes very bad. So for example, no one has lived in that house for 30 years. That's why it's so dilapidated. So the grass is really long, the paint is chipped, the walls are cracked, the windows are cracked, so on and so forth. Or another example, wow, your car looks so dilapidated. I'm surprised it still works. So your car looks like old piece of trash. I'm surprised you can turn it on and drive around. And then a mistake I noticed today, very simple mistake. In high school student. So I went to blah, blah, blah in high school student. But there's two ways to say this. So when I was a high school student, so I went to blah, blah, blah when I was a high school student, or I went to blah, blah, blah in high school is also okay. So when I was a high school student or in high school. So besides that, I didn't really write down any other mistakes. Everybody's doing a really good job, doing a lot of progress. So I'm really happy to see you guys come and talk so much. So I'll see you at the next group talk. Have a nice day off.